Here is how much my 2007 335i drift car project has cost me so far. I bought this car back in August and it started at about $4,000. It was in pretty rough shape and I replaced a lot of parts to get it to be my daily driver for the winter time. And I'm gonna walk you guys through exactly how much it cost, what every part I bought, and how much those parts cost. I have done a tremendous amount of work, from under trays to all new brakes, to tires and wheels, to an oil cooler, a clutch system, the coilovers, interior cleaning, and just an absolute ton of stuff. I've got a whole list here. So I'm gonna walk you guys through all the costs that it has cost for me. Luckily, I keep an Excel spreadsheet that looks like this. This helps me keep track of everything. Basically, every time I spend a single penny, I go to this Excel tracking sheet and it sums it up for me. So far, this car has cost me about $13,000. So I started at $4,000 and I put about $9,000 worth of parts. I'm gonna give you guys the breakdown of what all that has been for this car. All right, so like I said at the beginning, this car cost me $4,000. But in order to get it home, I had to rent a U-Haul trailer. Thankfully, my dad was nice enough. He was driving home from Ottawa. He stopped in, got the U-Haul trailer, went, picked this car up, and then delivered it to me. The U-Haul trailer cost me $99. Before I even got the car, I got pretty excited. I went on AliExpress and I ordered up all this cheap, nicer rice stuff that was in there. That cost me $181. I then wanted a shifter knob, and instead of buying the OEM one, I bought a cheap Amazon one for $24. Unfortunately, I could really feel the shitty quality with that Amazon shift knob, so I ended up buying the OEM shift knob to replace that, and that cost $120 for the OEM shift knob with my work discount. I used black duct tape to fix this driver's seat, brake line fittings for the hydraulic e-brake setup that I plan to do, spark plug socket in order to replace the spark plugs. I did end up buying 2 mirrors for it. That was $30. I ended up buying brakes off of eBay, brake motive brakes. These were $424 for the rotors and the brake pads and the sensors and the clips. Then it ended up that 2 of the calipers had the bleeding nut seized, so I ended up having to replace all 4 calipers. Found those on Facebook for $200 for all 4 calipers. I bought a bunch of things from 11/10, equaling out to $447. This was the diff fluid, transmission fluid, spark plugs, serpentine belt, and some brake fluid. I used all of those. The only thing I didn't end up using was the diff fluid because that already looked fresh. We did flush out everything else. $420 for the engine gaskets and the ignition cover. Now this is with my work discount from BMW. That was the valve cover gasket, the intake gaskets, pretty much all of the top gaskets that I replaced. Spent $132 of oils from Canadian Tire. So this was fresh engine oil, some engine oil to flush it out, some engine flush components as well. I bought the Style 359 wheels from Kijiji. These were $750. Pretty good deal for the Pirelli winter tires that basically had 1 season on them. And the rims were also almost new with only 1 season on them. So pretty good deal of $750 for there. I had to spend about $330 at Service Ontario for registration for the vehicle. I bought BC Racing coilovers. That was $1,420 for the coilovers. Then I also needed a shock socket for another $30 from Amazon. Got some smaller seals in there for $5. I ended up replacing the Mickey Mouse coolant top of the one radiator hose. That was $26. I ended up buying a whole new valve cover from Might Zone off of eBay. That was $170. Plus some miscellaneous kits like a scraper kit and a spring compression kit. That's about $40 right there. I did end up buying a pressure washer so that I could pressure wash all of the grease off of the engine bay because it was leaking oil for so long. There was such a buildup of dirt and engine oil built up in there. That was $135. So some other random tools off of Amazon for $46. Some BMW parts. I forget exactly what those were, but I would just keep buying miscellaneous parts from the parts store whenever I needed it. That was about $50. I had to buy 2 rear suspension bushings to go along with the coilovers because the OEM ones were just trashed. $53 right there. I bought the hood shocks to keep the hood up. $31 there. Did 2 rear wheel bearings for $140 off of Amazon. Axle nut for $16 from parts. I ended up paying for a 55-point inspection, the safety and an AC diagnosis at the shop. That was $305. I had to buy the thermostat for my work, $112. When I was doing the wheel bearing, I ended up making a mistake and I had to chop my e-brake cable, and then I actually had to replace the half shaft. So the e-brake cable cost me another $35, and that half shaft ended up costing me another $280. I spent about $90 on coolant, doing like 3 different coolant flushes with this car over the time. I had to buy some tools. 36mm socket cost me $28. I have a few more Parkview BMW items, probably some seals for another $70. Bought an aux cable from the inside, that was $20. Bought a bunch of 8mm screws for the under trays, that was $26. Bunch of plastic clips, $17. Bought the front tow hook, $23. The water temp gauge on the inside was $65. The oil cooler, $225 for the oil cooler. Bought a bunch of under trays, a collar nut, and a light bulb for $362. Ended up having to buy the whole clutch kit, $446. Transmission bolts to go with the clutch kit, another $46. I needed an exhaust tool to get the exhaust off, that was $30. I needed exhaust gasket plus bolts, that was $53. So just to do the clutch alone was almost $600. I had to buy this red mesh at the front to cover the grills, $30. I bought a Bluetooth device for music on the inside, that was $17. When I was doing the clutch, I had to replace the selector rod seal for the transmission, that was $30. I needed more under tray covers, that was $130. Ended up paying the shop a coolant leak diagnosis when my water pump was going, that was $50. And then I had to do my water pump, which was $528. When I was in there, I also did turbo drain line oil leads. That ended up being $35. And I bought a phone holder for $22, and then I bought a full interior detail for $240. Overall, it's been quite a journey. It was a lot more than I thought I would. I've gone way more parts. It's cost me way more stuff. It seemed like I was working on this car every Thursday, just one after another. Something else is going wrong, something else is going wrong, and I was going every Thursday just replacing stuff. I'm finally at the point where it's daily driving, and the only thing left, I have one O2 sensor that I got to replace. It's giving me a check engine light on the inside, and then after that I can just enjoy it for the winter, and then maybe we'll do some more stuff with it in the summertime. Haven't even got into any performance stuff like downpipes, intakes, exhaust, or anything like that, tunes or anything. Literally just been trying to get the car driving. So if you guys are considering buying one of those cheap Kijiji cars that you see out there, just know what to be in for. I started at $4,000 and now I'm at $13,000. I've spent more than twice the amount on the car just putting into it of parts and quality parts. I've even cheaped out where I could with the brakes, buying stuff used off Kijiji, but at the end of the day, I still had to buy a lot of expensive parts. BMWs are expensive, so if you guys plan on buying $4,000 BMW 335i off of Kijiji, just be warned that it's gonna cost you a lot more than that first initial price. I thought I was gonna be maybe $8,000 and I was gonna be done in total, and I've gone way past that. So part of me kind of regrets my decision. I definitely underestimated what this build would be. I hope you guys take this information and learn from it. This is what you guys can expect if you plan on buying a cheap ass BMW. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you found it useful, please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel for future E92 content. I'll see you guys on the next video.